Does wearing a lifting belt build more muscle? Well, that is the age-old thing in the gym. Most people swear that you need a belt. Others will tell you that you shouldn't have to wear a belt. It really depends, and there's two camps on this. But in this video, I'm going to cover why and should you and the purpose of a belt. So before I even talk about this thing right here, we're going to talk about your body's natural belt. What's your body's natural belt? Your body's natural belt consists of your abs, your lower back, your transverse abdominis, your obliques. That's your body's natural belt. So the purpose of that area is to keep you upright, to help you stay strong and stable during a lot of movements. So your body naturally has a belt. So when we slap this thing on, right, we're creating an artificial belt. But your body already has one. So what I would say is you need to really focus on developing your natural belt first. And I'll explain. So that's our natural belt. So what's the purpose of actually wearing a belt? Well, most people will believe that wearing a belt is designed to keep you safe. And that might not necessarily be true because most people wear belts incorrectly. The proper way to wear a belt is you have to put the belt about belly button level and you have to keep it tight enough where you can take a deep breath in and brace, basically push against the belt. So right now, I take a deep breath in and I push against this belt. I'm creating tension with the belt. And that's the proper way to use a belt. And I'm not just creating the tension in the front. I'm creating the tension on the sides and through the lower back. So when I push out, I'm pushing out everywhere, even the sides here and in my back. I'm really trying to expand my body around the belt. Most people put a belt on, crank it really tight and close it, and that's it. And they create that artificial brace. That's incorrect. That is a key way to get hurt. And in fact, when I was younger, I actually got hurt by doing that. I cranked the belt so tight, it was too tight, and I really, really hurt my lower back doing that. So that's the proper way to wear a belt. And the purpose of the belt is to create more tension during the lifts. Now, I'm going to talk about powerlifting training. So when I was in powerlifting and I was competing very heavily in powerlifting, I was able to squat and deadlift well over 500 pounds beltless in meets. So I didn't wear a belt, and I just felt more comfortable without a belt. And it wasn't until I realized how to use a belt correctly that I realized that you can get a lot more out of a belt, and everybody around me was using it. So I said, well, if everyone else is around me using it and they're using it to get stronger, I'm going to use it to get stronger as well. But you don't necessarily need a belt. Most people wear a belt all the time when they train. They have it on for every set. They walk into the gym, they have the belt on, and they never take it off. That is incorrect. The proper way to wear a belt, you want to leave it off during your warm-up sets. You want to leave it off during even your first set. And you want to probably put it on during your last set of a heavy compound movement. Now, I'm not talking about barbell rows or any other movement like that. I'm talking about strictly squats and deadlifts. That's it. Those two movements are probably the ones that you need to use the belt, period. If you're using a belt for rows or anything like that, you're setting yourself up for failure. Remember, like I said, your body has a natural belt. Develop it, utilize it, focus on building that strength from your own core, not relying on the belt. Because what happens if you went into the gym and you forgot your belt? Well, then you can't train heavy that day, right? It doesn't work like that. Your body has a belt. Use it the right way. Don't use this as a crutch, okay? So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. But what if you had an injury? Like, oh, I hurt my lower back. I need to be wearing a belt all the time. A belt is not going to give you the right protection because, again, if you're using the belt incorrectly, it's going to get you more hurt. So I would say, in fact, you're better off focusing on getting stronger without the belt, especially when it comes to growing only muscle. Like if your goal is just strictly, I want to get as big as possible, then you don't need a belt at all. If your goal is to powerlifting, then yes, I would say 100% you need the belt because everybody else around you is using the belt to get more out of it. So why shouldn't you? But when it comes to growing as much muscle as possible, you don't need this to grow muscle. You don't. You shouldn't use it unless you're in a period of training where you're really focusing on lifting heavy in those squats and deadlift movements, then maybe throw it on for your last set just for insurance. That's basically what a belt is for, insurance. Most people use it as a crutch. It's not. It's just insurance. I would recommend, like I said, putting it on for your last heavy set. So will the belt help you build more muscle? The answer is no. When it comes to strictly muscle building purposes, it's not going to build more muscle, okay? And if you're going to use a belt, make sure you use it the way I talked about. Proper bracing, pushing into the belt, breathing out, bracing into it. But instead, guys, try to focus on developing your body's natural belt and focus on getting stronger throughout your core, bracing, and not using this belt all the time when you lift. And if you're confused about what you should be doing in the gym, you're in luck, because I created a free 6-week training program that I want to give you for free. No strings attached, anything like that. Just click the link below and pick up that program today. And until next time, this was Anthony, AB Fitness. I'll catch you on the next one.